Hello students, this is what the syllabus of CG. You must be having the syllabus copy with you. Just to go through briefly what the things what we have discussed so far. So the first module, entire thing we have discussed. Better I'll change the view. Hope this will be visible now. So first module, that is overview of computer graphics and OpenGL. All the topics from first module we have discussed. Okay, and second module, few topics we have discussed earlier in the classroom. So remaining topics which is pending, the important topics I'll be covering now, which is relevant to the third module. I'll discuss about that, which topics I'll be covering now from second module. Okay, I'll discuss about that. Then module 3 yet to be discussed, module 4 yet to be discussed, and the fifth module, please concentrate here. The fifth module, module 5, hope this is visible, right? So module 5 is input and interaction, curves and computer animation. Among them, input and interaction, and all the topics are covered. Whatever the topics are there here, listed out here, let us quickly look into. So input and interaction, first is input device, both physical input device and logical input device we have discussed. Refer to my previous videos. Then client server architecture, display list, okay, display list modeling, programming event driven input, menu, picking, building interactive model, that rotating square, okay, animating interactive program, same thing, design of interactive program, logic operations, so that XOR mode and all, in the previous video we have discussed about that. So that is what the first half of module 5. Please understand, this is the first half of module 5, and second half of the module 5, which is from the other textbook actually. Okay, curves and computer animation. So I will come to curves and computer animation later, because to understand about the curve and computer animation, little bit discussion of all the types of transformation 2D and 3D are required, so which is there at module 2 followed by module 3. So the left out portion from module 2 I'll be covering now, followed by module 3 I'll be covering, then I'll come back to the remaining portion of the module 5. But please understand, if you study all these things, the one question out of two you can easily answer from module 5. 50% of module 5, more than 50% of module 5 is completed. Okay, hardly few topics are left related to curves and computer animation. To understand that, slightly we have to study about the transformation, like translation, rotation and scaling with respect to 2D and 3D. So I'll be covering those topics in my next videos. So please understand the syllabus and topic what we have discussed so far and what is to be discussed later on and all. So first module is the basic thing. Okay, all the topics we have covered in the class only in the month of February and March. So first week of March, even some of the topics from second module I have covered. You can go through the syllabus and see. So left out portion, that transformation part is left out, 2D transformation, that I will be covering. Okay, I'll be continuing with that module 2 remaining portion, especially from here 2D geometric transformation. Okay, here 2D geometric transformation, these things I'll be continuing. Okay, once 2D transformation and weaving is completed, I'll go for module 3, that is the continuation of module 2 with respect to 3D we will be discussing. Okay, any doubt you ask. So students, let's continue our discussion with respect to module 2. As I said earlier, I have given you the overview of the syllabus and what are the topics we have discussed so far. Okay, so to study about the module 3, we have to see some pending portion, the portion left out portion from module 2, that is the geometric transformation, 2D geometric transformation. So the first part of the module 2, please recall, the first part of the module 2, go through your notes, it must be there in your notebook only. Okay, we have identified the different types of polygons, like convex polygon and concave polygon, isn't it? Convex and concave polygons were identified, and the concave polygon, to be how to draw that concave polygon, we have how to identify that inner part as well as outer part of the polygon. It is identified by different tests like winding number test and all. It is there in your notebook, please go through. That is what the first part of the module 2. Okay, then we have one algorithm, scanline fill algorithm, which is the lab program as well. I will explain that program later on. Okay, It's a part of theory as well as lab. Let us discuss about that later. So go for the next topic. Let's proceed for the next topic, that is 2D geometric transformation. Very important topic. So geometric transform, basically there are three types of geometric transformations available: translation, rotation, as well as scaling. So here are the points, set of points, objective, what we are going to discuss here with respect to geometric transformation. Hope it is visible. So first one is basic 2D geometric transformation, then matrix representation in homogeneous coordinate system, then we have to discuss about the inverse transformation, then 2D composite transformation, that set of transformations one after the other, then other types of or other forms of 2D transformation. Okay, raster method for geometric transformation, OpenGL raster transformation. So OpenGL functions we will be discussing. Okay, OpenGL geometric transformation functions, built-in functions in OpenGL to perform the geometric transformation. So these are the various topics we have to study about. We will be discussing that further. Let us begin with the basic thing, two-dimensional geometric transformation. Okay, please go through the, let me change the view. Fine. Two-dimensional geometric transformation operations that are applied to the geometric description of an object to change its position, orientation, or size are called as the two-dimensional geometric transformation. Okay, so operations that are applied to geometric description of an object to change the position, changing the position, that is moving the object from one location to other location, which is called as translation. Then changing the orientation, orientation in the sense we are adding the angular displacement to the existing value. That means you are changing the angle value, orientation of the model. That is the second type of the transformation, that is rotation, isn't it? Recall the lab experiment, that rotating cube, each time you are going to add the angular displacement theta, right? Theta equal to theta plus that existing value. Once it crosses 360, will reset the value, isn't it? That's what rotation is, second form of the transformation. And the next form of the transformation is size. Concentrate here, right? Size can be changed. Either you can enlarge it or you can diminish the size of the object. That means it is called as the third form of the transformation, which is scaling. Okay, fine. Now moving on to the next topic, that is basic two-dimensional geometric transformation. The geometric transformation functions that are available in all graphics packages and are those for, say here what I said, it is explained: translation, rotation, and scaling. First, let us begin with the two-dimensional translation. We perform a translation on a single coordinate point by adding offset to its coordinate so as to generate the new coordinate position, which is called as a translation. The, the thing is, suppose an object, okay, a point, say a point which is located at which is placed at a position 10 10. Okay, you want to place it to the new value 10 10, in the sense x parameter is 10, y parameter is 10. Please try to understand an object, that is point, which is located at position 10 comma 10, x and y coordinate values, and you want to translate it to a new location, say 20 and 20. X coordinate value will be 20, y coordinate value will be 20. So what offset value you have to add? Think, new position, new value should be 20 and 20. Existing value is what? 10 and 10. What is the offset to be added? For x you have to add the offset value 10. For y also you have to add the offset value 10, isn't it? That's what they are trying to explain. So we are moving the original point position along a straight line path to its new location. To translate a two-dimensional position, we add the translation distance. Please understand this, what I explained, the same thing is mentioned, the translation distance, or what you call it as displacement value tx and ty to the original coordinate x and y. So as per our scenario, 10 and 10 are the new value or the original values. X and y values are 10 comma 10, and tx value, tx, see, new position should be 20 and 20. Tx is the displacement, 10 for x as well as 10 for y, isn't it? 10 should be added with x, 10, that ty value should be added to y, isn't it? To obtain the new coordinate position, let us call it as x dash and y dash. Let it be your new coordinate value, say 20 and 20. Diagrams are not visible over here. Better let me change the view. Fine. As what I said, it is given over here. Please understand this. Try to understand this graph. Simple two-dimensional system is taken, x and y coordinate, where p is the initial position of the point. Let its value be 10 and 10, right? What is t? That is the translation displacement of new value should be p dash should be 20 and 20, assume. So you have to add the displacement 10 horizontally and 10 points vertically, that tx as well as ty, isn't it? See the equations here. The translation values of x dash and y dash are calculated. X dash is what? Original value x in addition with the displacement value dx. And what is y? Y dash, original value of y in addition with displacement value, that is ty. Okay. The translation distance pair, that is tx comma ty, is called as the translation vector or shift vector. Please understand this. This pair of value tx comma ty, okay, tx comma ty, that is nothing but the displacement value, which is called as translation vector. Okay. Now let's go for geometric representation of the same. I mean matrix representation of these geometric entities can be represented in terms of matrices, and matrix representation, let us see how to do. Let p is the initial position. What is the value of p? Refer the diagram. P is x comma y, isn't it? This is x comma y, this will be x dash comma y dash. Okay, p is x comma y. So x and y are represented as follows. Observe this. Hope it is visible. P equal to x and y, and p dash will be what? X dash as well as y dash. What is t then? T is the displacement value, isn't it? Which stores the displacement value tx followed by ty. So we can write the formula p dash. How p dash is obtained? It is the original value plus translation vector value. Original value is p plus translation vector value is t, isn't it? So p dash equal to p plus t. Go through this equation which I am pointing, isn't it? Very simple topic. So translation is a rigid body transformation that moves the object without deformation. Deformation in the sense it will not resize the model. Okay, it won't change any angular displacement, that is orientation and all. How it is kept in the same way, in new location it will be kept. Fine.